oh, the economy's doing so much better. Trump's doing such a great job. I just spent $9 on a quart of heavy whipping cream.
I don't know about you, but something is seriously wrong with this economy. And I'm not kidding. Like, I've never seen prices so high in my entire life. You're watching What Is It Like to Live in America now? It's crazy. I don't even know if I can afford life.
Let's be real. Right now, the economy is squeezing just about everyone. Prices keep going up, jobs don't feel secure anymore, and no matter how hard people work, making ends meet still feels impossible. Because businesses are shutting down, ordinary people are carrying most of the weight, while the wealthy just keep getting wealthier. So if you've been stressed or worn out lately, trust me, you're not the only one.
Okay, real quick. I live down at the lake. Okay, I live around a lake. I've born and raised here, whatever. And I can never figure out how in the hell people can afford nice ass trucks. Like, I'm talking about lifted, everything, all the bells and whistles, okay? A nice ass boat, okay? And jet skis. How the fuck in this economy are you affording all of that? Plus vehicles. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I already said that. A big truck, whatever. But still, and then you got other cars that, you know, your wife drives, whatever. And then you live in a nice house. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? If y'all are slinging drugs, just fucking say it and let a girl in, okay?
Economy is brutal. Absolutely brutal. So 2020, I was a medical assistant. I went to college for that. I'd been doing that for 7 years at the time. And I was making decent money. I mean, I wasn't strapped paycheck to paycheck by any, you know, I wasn't that tight on money. I had enough in savings. I was able to take my son on vacations, you know, and I didn't really have to constantly examine my bank account every single moment of the day. Yeah, so it was good. And then with all the mandates and lockdowns and stuff, I had just decided that the healthcare field was not for me anymore. So I left and I decided to start my own business. I got into esthetician. I went to school, became a licensed esthetician. And I got lucky enough that right after school, I got hired on at an already well-established salon. So I didn't really have to do anything. I didn't have to do any marketing, nothing like that. I just showed up every day and my schedule was full of clients. And it was great. It was awesome. I was making great money. My schedule was busy. And then the owner had some mental breakdown and the business crumbled and collapsed. And so I had to go out on my own and rent a space as an independent contractor. And I tried one salon and it wasn't a busy salon at all. So I had the clientele that I had kind of acquired while I was at this first place. They followed me, but then over like a 7-month span, I started losing some. Either they financially couldn't afford it, they were moving. I had a few that have moved out of the area. And so that, you know, but I wasn't recouping new ones. I was losing more than I was recouping. And then I moved to another spot that I thought would be busier. I went completely on my own. I wasn't even at a salon at this point, and I was kind of in the downtown area, and I was there for 8 months. And again, I was still losing more clients than I was gaining because of people, again, couldn't afford it or they were moving out of the area. And so it's been tough. You know, I've been doing it 3 years now, and I've now moved again to another salon that is in a really high traffic area, so I'm hoping we'll pick up some. But yeah, I mean, it's an industry, it's a luxury industry. People are now having to pick and choose what it is that they can afford. I mean, there was a time where I was able to pay for somebody once a month to come and clean my house. And I was able to get my nails done. I was able to get my hair cut and colored. Now, as you can see, I got all this gray hair that I can't afford to get my hair colored. Can't afford to get nails done. You know, can't afford any of the luxury things. And I know that I'm not alone. I know that there's other people that are like this as well. So it's a real struggle to try to get clientele in a luxury type industry that people can kind of do at home. You know, people are starting to do their own nails at home. They're doing their own waxing at home, or brow tinting, or whatever it is at home, or they're doing their lashes and stuff at home. They're making it work at home because the economy is so tough. So now here I am, 41 years old, and I am like the poorest I have ever been in my life. And it's depressing. It's a struggle.
They didn't forget to raise your wages. They planned it that way. Since the 1970s, worker productivity has skyrocketed. See, you've been doing more with less every year. Meanwhile, your paycheck barely budged. Where did all the extra money go? To CEOs, to stock buybacks, to corporate bonuses. They squeezed every drop of value out of your labor, but they didn't give you anything back. And now they pretend to be shocked when people are struggling to survive. They ain't shocked. I tell you, that's a feature of the design. For you to struggle, because while you're struggling, you won't pay attention to what's really happening. If you're still working harder than ever and constantly falling behind, comment enough and share this with others so we can wake up the time.
Yeah, good morning. Just checking in. My millennial families, especially the ones with kids, are you okay? Are you okay? You're not okay. I know you're not okay. We're drowning. We're drowning. We're never going to make it. This generation is never going to make it, okay? I just watched 5 TikToks in a row. I swear to you, 5 TikToks about how our country is in the greatest depression it's ever been in, and they're calling it the silent depression because we are all just silently drowning. Okay? Let me give you some examples. I'm going to be real transparent here, okay? When I first moved out, I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. $850 a month, utilities included. Fast forward to now, I have 4 kids of my own and a bonus son. We have 5 kids altogether. When we started applying for apartments, most wanted you to pay $300, $400, $500 to even apply for the apartment, to reject you and then tell you, we don't give you that money back. Awesome. So then we did find somewhere that approved us. Okay, 2nd floor of a house, no central air. We had to buy 4 AC units when we moved in here. Okay, 2 bedrooms and a loft. Some places wouldn't even rent to us because they said you have too many kids and you need a bigger space. We can't afford a bigger space, okay? We pay $1,600 a month. Again, 2nd floor of a house, no central air, 2 bedrooms and a loft. $1,600. Groceries, food, a basic human need. I get $569 a month in food stamps. Very grateful for that. It's a huge help. But I still have to go to 2 food pantries a week to be able to feed my family. Not to mention, I didn't even get them this month because I did everything I was supposed to for my recertification. They messed up on their end. I didn't get them. So now it's the waiting game. You get them back when we figure it out. That's what I was told at social services the other day. So we decided to go to Dollar General right down the street, the dollar store. Get us some necessities, get us through until we get my food stamps back. 5 bags of groceries, $110. The only meat I got was 1 roll of ground beef. Childcare. I'm getting ready to go back to work. Why? Because we're never going to make it if I don't. But almost 3/4 of my income is going to go to childcare. I have a 4-month-old baby. I can't be a stay-at-home mom anymore. It's impossible. It is impossible to be a stay-at-home mom in this economy. They told us to get educated. I have an associate's degree. I just applied to go back and get my bachelor's. Credit hours are over $300 now. That's triple what I paid for my associates. We are never going to be able to buy a house in this economy. The American dream that we lived with our parents that had one parent working, mom stayed home, they had multiple vehicles, 4-wheelers, we went on vacations, all that, that's gone. They were the wealthiest middle-class generation that probably this country's ever seen. They climbed up the ladder and pulled it right up behind them.
The reason I say that is because it's very rare that I go on Indeed in my area and find a job offering more than $13 to $14 an hour. If you make $80,000, $90,000 a year, you're probably going to buy. You're going to buy before you absolutely cannot buy at this point. So the reason I tie in the population and the general wage in this area is because the people that are making $13 to $14 an hour, yeah, they can't afford that, but they're the people that are renting. And just to further this perspective, I quit my last company after 3 years. I had gone from part-time to full-time and switched departments, worked my way up, okay? And as someone in accounting, I was only making about $27,000 a year. That is a wage that I was making working as a supervisor at Walmart about 6 to 7 years ago. Stagnant. Wages around here are stagnant. Again, I know it's worse. I know it's worse. Some of you are going to look at that and go, that's a pretty good deal. But knowing my area, that blew my mind to read. That landlord is going to make easily $30,000 just on that, and they didn't disclose the amount of the basement apartment underneath either. So they're probably getting another $20,000, let's say, on that. I'm just throwing out numbers now. Eat the fucking rich. And if you're a landlord that's doing this kind of shit, eat you.
Let's just talk for a second about how much our economy sucks. We're going to do some math real quick on something that's going to shock you that you don't even realize. So there's 168 hours in a week. Last week, I worked 6 days and 10 hours a day. That's 60 hours. And because the economy is so bad, I also DoorDashed for 30 hours last week on top of the 60 that I worked at my normal job. So that's 90 hours between DoorDashing and working that I spent trying to make some money last week. So then everyone says, well, you're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep every single night, right? So if you take your 8 hours of sleep times 7 days, that's 56 hours that you should be sleeping on average every single week. So now, out of the 168 hours you have in a week, between working and sleeping, you're at 146 hours. So that's 22 hours for the whole week that you can use for your leisure where you're not sleeping or working. And that comes to 3.14 hours per day that you can use for your free time. That's pie amount of hours. And you know what you could do with that pie amount of hours every day? Nothing, because you never have any effing money.
So I'm going to sit here and rant while I am waiting for them to take my order. I'm 24. I'm going to be 25 next year. I mean, I'm going to be 25 in like 2 months, right? We're in March. 3 months. Oh my God, it's so sad. I feel so lost in life. I feel so lost in my career. Like, I'm lying. I don't feel lost in my career. I am actually very happy and very grateful with the position I'm at. Go, lady. You're gonna mess up our order. Just go. I hate when you're in the Chick-fil-A line and like you know it's your turn to go, but these people anyways. No, I just feel like really lost, and I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I feel like I have all these goals, and like it is so hard in this economy to just, I mean, like people say, take a leap of faith, because you never know what's gonna happen. Like you really don't know. And it's just like, it's crazy to me. Like it is so crazy to me how like life has just become so expensive and just so hard. Like you can't, it's hard to buy a house, it's hard to save, it's hard to like upgrade a vehicle if you wanted to. Like it's just so hard, and I've just been feeling super lost, super overwhelmed. And I know God has a purpose, and I know everything like will eventually get better, but for the past 2 weeks I've just been having a really hard time. You work Monday to Friday, you know, to make a living, and even then I feel like a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. And then you have Saturday and Sunday off, right? Or like, you know, some jobs like they'll offer like a Sunday and a weekday, whatever. You have your 2 days off. But it's like you have that time off and you're spending those 2 days basically running errands, doing what you have to do, taking care of like whatever has to be taken care of. Like for example, me, I don't know, go visit my grandparents, go spend time with my family, spend time with my boyfriend, with my friends, set my nail appointments, my brow appointment, my freaking everything that I have to do, you know, like have it taken care of in those 2 days. And it's hard. Oh, that light is glaring. It's hard. And it's like, I was talking to one of my coworkers and she was like, a weekend doesn't even feel, or like, you know, your days off don't even feel like a day off because you're always doing something. And it's true. And it's just, it's frustrating. And you know, people who are it's just hard when you have all these goals and you feel like you can't accomplish any of them because of money or, you know, whatever situation you might be in. Like some people, they have to take care of their parents, so that you know, it's harder because you have yourself to take care of financially than your parents. And Hi. Life is hard. Life is hard as fuck right now. I don't know.
Can we talk about the cost of living in Arizona?
This week that the United Nations had a vote on whether or not food was a right, and finding out that the United States is the only country that said no, really doesn't make me want to go outside. It doesn't make me want to pay my bills. It doesn't make me want to do anything. Honestly, it's lengthening the deep sadness that I feel living in this country that already existed. Food isn't a fucking right.
Well, this world is so backwards. I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of not being able to afford daycare because it's the cost of my weekly pay for one day. I'm tired of spending $200+ a week just to feed my family. I'm tired of filling my gas tank twice a week when I go to work twice a week and work from home the other days. I'm tired of working 2 jobs just to live the bare minimum, just to make it. This economy is not set up for families or working moms. I'm just tired. I'm tired. But oh, you make too much for government assistance, so we can't approve you. But you don't make enough to...
Much as I hate math, let's do some. $2,200 a month times 12 is $26,400. When you add in that deposit and the pet fee, $28,900. So you might as well say 30 grand for the year to rent this place. When you do $2,200 a month times 12 and then times it by 3, you get $79,200. And then if you add in that deposit and the pet fee, again, $81,700. So let's go ahead and say that to rent this place, you have to make minimum $82,000 a year. Now, I don't know what you guys consider a small town, but this was the population of my county 2 years ago. 37,188.
Because, listen, when I first rented my own apartment and moved out, it was in 2016, so about 10 years ago. Really, when I'm about to tell you the price difference in that apartment versus what I'm paying now, 10 years is not enough for it to be this much. So that apartment was $800 a month. It was a luxury apartment complex. We had a lot of amenities. My apartment itself was amazing. $800. And I remember in 2016, I thought, like, this is so much money. Again, in my head, $800 was so much because that's not including my APS bill and my Wi-Fi and all that. I'm pretty sure I had a gas stove too, so I had SRP too. But total, it would be like $950 a month for everything. In 2019, I moved again, and it was so hard finding an apartment. It was impossible to find an apartment for like under $1,000. It just didn't exist anymore. So from 2016 to end of 2019, everything was over $1,000. I ended up moving in somewhere. My rent was $1,550, and I lived there for a couple years. So it went from basically, and this is like average rent in the zip code that I was in, okay? This was not that expensive of an apartment. So from 2016 to 2019, that is a $700 increase, and that was the average. I move again in 2021. My rent was $1,750. Stayed there. Next year it went up. My rent was $1,900. stayed there again another year, and my rent was $2,400. So we go from $800 to $2,400 in a matter of 8 years. That is insane. Not including the APS, not including the Wi-Fi, any other utilities, water, like that's just the base rent. I moved to North Scottsdale to be closer to work in February of 2024. My base rent here is $1,700, okay? And this apartment complex is old. Like, my dryer doesn't work. My dishwasher has been fixed 3 times. The lights go out here all the time. And renewed again this last year, and I now pay $2,000. It's like $1,990 to live in an old apartment complex where nothing works. Thank God there's no bug issues, but I have seen like other neighbors have issues with roaches and stuff like that. Thank God it's not my apartment. However, for this apartment, $2,000. And I don't even live in like the peak heart of North Scottsdale. I live in, like I said, I have popcorn ceilings if you can see them. My point is, I don't know like when this stops, but I am so over it. Like, I just can't get over $800 to $2,000. That is more than double of an increase. And like I said, my first apartment was completely luxury. Like, everything was upgraded except for my stove, because I had a gas stove, but everything was upgraded and new, and it was in a nice area of town. That's insane, right? Like, am I crazy? I need to know if I am the only one that's mad about the prices of living here. I've lived in Arizona my whole life, and it's just so sad, and lived on my own for, God, almost 10 years. So it's so crazy, because I'm like, in another 10 years, I'm going to be living on my own for 20 years. Am I going to be paying $4,000, $5,000 for a shitty apartment? I just need to know I'm not alone and being overreactive. So I just feel like this sucks. Please stop moving to Arizona. Please stop moving. And another thing is they keep building apartments. So many apartment complexes. And Arizona is already hot, but in Phoenix, it's extra hot because there's so much concrete and the sun is hitting the concrete all day. That's why our monsoons aren't happening as much as they used to. There's too much infrastructure in Arizona, and they just keep building and building and building, and prices keep going up, and it keeps getting hotter. You don't want to live here. If you're thinking about moving here, don't do it. People that live here already are struggling enough. I hate it.
Thought I'd hop on here real quick and just talk about something that's been on my mind. Been weighing heavy on my mind today, especially. Does anybody else feel like life right now is just so darn hard? Like, incredibly hard. Not just the grocery prices, which we all know are crazy expensive, the utilities, the cell phones, gassing up the vehicles. It's all so darn expensive right now. It's enough to make anybody depressed, especially me. I hate the feeling of feeling like I'm failing in life, and not like as a parent, not as a wife, just in general. It's all just downright depressing right now. I don't know. And I feel like people are posting and it seems like their life is perfect. Is it really though? I call some serious bullshit on that. Sorry for the language, but come on. Things are just so hard, and it can't just be me, right? Just a thought. Bye.
The truth is, economy is draining people. It's not just numbers on a chart or fancy promises on TV. It's families having to cut back on their meals, parents juggling 2 or 3 jobs just to scrape by, and young people starting to lose hope for the future. Everyday workers are the ones carrying the load, while the wealthy hardly feel the impact. We keep being told to be patient, but no one really knows how long that's supposed to take. People deserve an economy that lifts them up, not one that keeps knocking them down. Real change begins when we admit there is a problem and refuse to stay quiet about it. So if you're feeling exhausted, remember this. You're not alone. The system may be broken, but people are strong, and together we can keep pushing for something better. And that is the end of our video today. And I see you in the next video of Social Money. Bye.